Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Baltimore Museum of Art. My name is Elizabeth Callahan. I'm the Chief Education Officer here, and it is truly a joy to gather here with you tonight for this special performance. Tonight's program is the result of our new Alice and Frank Cooley Composer in Residence initiative, an endeavor envisioned by our director, Asma Naeem, as a way of expanding the forms of creative expression that we present here at BMA, and to honor the many ways that artists shape the cultural landscape of Baltimore. We are honored that our inaugural composer in residence is Abdu Mongo Ali. A Baltimore-born, cross-disciplinary artist whose work serves as poetic inquiries of identity, deconstructing ideas of race, gender, and sexuality. When we first spoke to Abdu about this residency, we shared the idea of responding to a creative prompt, using the BMA's collections and exhibitions as a way of exploration. The prompt was rooted in the idea of ecology, inspired by our Turn Again to the Earth initiative, which connected art, the environment, and our institutional responsibility to both. This evening's performance, Between Every Breath There's Atmosphere, is a result of that exploration, a sonic and visual meditation on the ecological and atmospheric conditions of our region and how they shape the lived experiences of contemporary Black Baltimoreans. This has truly been a collaborative endeavor with the artists since our initial conversation. So we want to thank you, Abdu, for trusting us enough to come along on this journey and for sharing your creative voice and vision with us. Abdu is also joined tonight by an extraordinary group of artists and creative partners. During the performance by Mark Navarro, a Baltimore-based sound artist and composer, and Daor Jong, Senegalese-American sound essayist and musician. After the performance, they'll be joined by award-winning artist, musician, and filmmaker Terrence Nance for a conversation and Q&A. We are honored to have all of them here with us tonight. I also want to extend a heartfelt thanks to the BMA colleagues whose leadership and partnership made this residency possible. To Dr. Kevin Tervala, our chief curator, whose commitment to expanding the museum's conception of artistic practice has been essential to shaping this residency. And to members of the curatorial team, I see a few of you here, who opened their collections to exploration through this residency. And to our Director of Public Programs, Tracy Beal, who shepherded this process and who is here on her birthday. Happy birthday, Tracy. To our Public Programs Coordinator, Anya Jeka, to our sound and lighting designer and engineer, Natasha Tylia, and many others. And of course, thank you to everyone here tonight, to artists, educators, organizers, students, neighbors, and friends for being here tonight. Your presence affirms the importance of creating space for experimentation and for collective imagination within the museum. Without further ado, please help me in welcoming Abdu Mongo Ali.
In this hatal place, deeper in the in-between, I stand in sky, I stand in ocean, embodied in a place with no soil, no land, suspended deep in stillness, suspended in noisy distortion, pushed down by the mercy of God, twirling all around in a place with no dimension, in a place with no theory, a place where we were possessed by a daze, caught up in a light that we must follow, a light that led us to the other side, a place where mirrors bend on hinges of opaque and emptiness, mirrors that reflect shadow and devour negative space. This is an existence that drapes beyond the inferno, an embodiment that rises in the Pandora of no return, a self that is suspended by wicked confessions, a self that is always forever in this hatal place. An elegy for my body. What I bear is sewn into a poltergeist and gets into bed to sleep with me. A static hum reverbs in the headboard. A glitchy grunt crackles in my blankets. A distorted silence echoes between the sheets. And underneath my pillows, I leave notes for me to dream. In your lungs, there is the ocean. Caught up in the hold of your lungs, there is the ocean. There is a world you walked out from. Fins as feet chasing your shadow. An opaque figure that held your future. You saw yourself standing. Between every breath there is atmosphere. Exhale as chaos. Inhale as order. Breathing is a polarity. In the breath there is the atmosphere. Between the breath there is the atmosphere. Between the breath there is the light. Between the breath there is the darkness. Between the breath there is the atmosphere. You are atmosphere. Between every breath there is the atmosphere. Between every breath there is the atmos. Between every breath there is atmos. Between every breath there is atmosphere. Between every there is the between every breath there is the atmos. Between every breath there is the atmosphere. Between every breath there is the atmosphere. According to the Chesapeake Bay program, almost 3/4 of the bay's tidal waters are partially or fully impaired by pesticides, pharmaceuticals, metals, and other chemicals which can harm the health of both humans and wildlife. The CPP also states that the pollution emitted by cars, trucks, power plants, and other sources doesn't just cloud the air we breathe, it falls back onto the Earth's surface, where it can wind up in our waterways. According to a report by the Climate Action Network, Action Fund, 36% of all industrial air pollution in Baltimore comes from Bresco, the most of any stationary source in the city. Pollution from Bresco disproportionately affects low-income and Black communities. In a 2024 report from the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, listing the top 20 asthma capitals, Baltimore was ranked as the number 8 asthma capital. Black children in Baltimore face a severe asthma crisis, with one report from 2020 estimating 20% of all Baltimore children have asthma, disproportionately affecting Black youth. Here's a list of Maryland life creatures and plants that have recently either become endangered or extinct or have a declining population. The Carolina parakeet, the oriole, the American woodcock, the eastern whippoorwill, the right whale, the leatherback sea turtle, the dwarf wedge mussel, the Puritan tiger beetle, the Indiana bat, the small world begonia, and my favorite, the Maryland darter. atmosphere, atmosphere. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are the atmosphere. You are, you are, you are the atmosphere. Memory. What's in the atmosphere? Water, 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 what's in the atmosphere? Sound! Ritita, tirirata, titi, tirirata, titi, tirirata, tiririte, tiriritita, 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 tiririte, tiriritita, tira, tira. Tira, tira, tiriritita, tiriritita,
Don't go anywhere. We're going to reset the stage and prepare ourselves for a conversation with Abdu Ali and Terrence Nance. Can we give them one more round of applause? This was brilliant. I also want to thank Natasha Tylia.
Shout out to Natasha.
She's our sound engineer. Brilliant. So I'm going to introduce our guest for this evening. He's an artist. He's a filmmaker. He's a musician. He's born in Dallas. He also lives here in Baltimore, so we're claiming him right now. Yes. You may know him best for his Peabody Award-winning series, HBO series called Random Acts of Flyness. He has an EP called Things I Never. He has an album called Vortex. They're all amazing experiences. He's an innovator. He's an imagination shaper, much like our friend Abdu Ali right here. Please give a round of applause for Terrence Nance. Where are you, Terrence? Where'd you go? Oh, I think Terrence had to step away for a second, so hello. He stepped away for a moment. What does one do in this moment? Well, I'm Tracy Beal, hello.
Oh, we can say happy birthday to Tracy.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you.
Good morning.
Happy birthday, dear Tracy. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, y'all. Best birthday present ever.
You are. Yo. I don't even know why we talking. We just need to keep that going. Because beyond. Man, thank you for that medicine.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
I'm speechless.
Okay. We don't have to talk for long. It could be like 10 minutes.
I feel in the center of the earth with you, in a primordial place where things clash, elements clash together, produce materials that produce the atmosphere, you know. So I want to know where this practice came from of bringing these sounds from so deep.
Shoot. Honestly, I was in the choir in middle school. Shout out to Booker T. Washington Middle. I survived. But I think that I always had the sound in me, music in me, since I was little. I just found out that a lot of people, a lot of my sides of my family actually were singers and musicians, so it could be genetic and ancestral.
Could be.
But I don't know, I just feel like being from Baltimore is such a sonic city with so much porosity and so much musicality in it. You know, we were fortunate to have, I'm fortunate to be from a city that has its own musical genre. Shout out to Baltimore club music, and I think that growing up with that sound in my atmosphere and in my background definitely heavily influenced me a lot. And just, you know, I started clubbing at like 13, going to the Paradox, sneaking in. My mom and them don't know that. Sneaking in the Paradox just to dance all night to Baltimore club music. And I just think that's probably where it started as far as like me maybe having the bug to like be with music in a practice way and professionally and spiritually. Because it was just so liberating. And I'll never forget my first night at the Paradox, just being able to dance. And those were the times when clubs were clubs, and you felt every single sound in the music. The subwoofers was really hitting. You felt the vibration in your body, and I think That's why I call it the bug, the vibration from partying at Paradox, listening to Baltimore club music all night.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel like Sneaking in the Paradox is a great song title. Or album or something. You need to use that. Somebody write that down. The words, the use of the words, I mean, the bars, my God. Especially how you are able to use the word as in its sonic quality to make us feel like we're in a channel with you together in that club. Which comes first? You know, I know you write, obviously,
Right.
but how does something like this come together where it converges? Which comes first? Do they come at the same time?
The word always comes first. I think as a poet, for me, the word always comes first. When I started doing music, I had words before I had the music, and I would link up with producers having whole songs written without a beat, you know, and then they would try to capture the sound that I was rapping and singing and the lyrics that I wrote, and the sound became kind of like the backdrop for the word and the words. And so for me, when I was thinking about, you know, turn again to the earth, I always get it messed up. Turn towards the earth. I think the theme that the BMA was responding to throughout 2025 when it comes to environment and ecology, et cetera. I just, you know, I'm already thinking about and working what it means to breathe and what it means to think between the breath and what is there between the breath, the hold, you know, et cetera. So I was already in that space of thinking about breathing, breath, between the breath, et cetera. And I just, I was reading some like article about how when we breathe in the ocean, right? Because, you know, the ocean is important. Without the ocean, we don't have oxygen and a lot of different things. And so I just thought about between the breath. What came to me was between the breath, there's the atmosphere, but also the atmosphere is inside of you. We are the atmosphere. The atmosphere is in us. The atmosphere is in everything, right? We are atmospheric beings. So I just thought that made sense to think about that and how our environment shapes who we are, and not even just physically or culturally, but I think that when you think about the different regions in America, right, even between Baltimore and DC, there's such a different dialect, there's a different sound. Baltimore has club music and DC has go-go, and I really do think that the atmosphere that we live in shapes that sound, and not even just the urban industrial infrastructure, but also the way Baltimore sits under the sun and sits under the moon, you know, and those coordinates and how that affects us. So I just started thinking about all these different ways environment and ecology shape us, literally from like the way we talk, the music we like, how we look, how we sound, et cetera, and all the different elements of being embodied Black beings in Baltimore and Maryland.
This notion of breathing in water, it makes me think, you know, I learned recently that babies practice breathing in the womb. They don't breathe, they practice it because they're in water.
Right.
And this idea of like the water being this element that binds us, like if we're all in it, it connects us. If it's hot in there, it's hot, right? And then, you know, it kind of connects how you were saying that there's water in the air.
Yeah.
And it's this invisible connector of all of our energies, whether we like it or not, you know? And something about what you did, it just connected everybody. Before you told everybody to get up, we was connected.
Okay.
And we were like,
Yeah.
should we get up? We need to get up. I could feel it. I mean, I was like, we're not supposed to be in chairs. You know, like we need to be up there with you and together, because you were testifying to this connectedness, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even have a question, but I want to know how you get to this form of talking that way in this kind of poetic realm, and then you go to the scientific, journalistic, factual back and forth. Talk about that.
I'm a Gemini moon and a Gemini Venus. so I think the astrology has a lot to do with that. No, I'm very heavily, if it's not real obvious at this point, I'm very heavily inspired by Sun Ra, heavily inspired by Laraji, heavily inspired by even the poets, Lucille Clifton, Nikki Giovanni, poets and musicians that I feel like write in scripture or make music in scripture, and just, you know, gifts, their offerings is just so much about feeding us language and words and phrases and affirmations that I think really speak to the spirit. I think they are soul artists, you know, all caps, you know, and so, and also, you know, when going back to Baltimore Club, a lot of Baltimore Club music, you know, the language is very repetitive, looping a lot of phrases and metaphors and affirmations. Shout out to Miss Tony. Make some noise to Miss Tony. You know, and so I think heavily, you know, I'm very inspired by, you know, just the repetitiveness of language and words, and realizing you don't need much to feel it, you know, and you don't have to have too much dialect to tap into like the soul. And so for me, and I'm very much so inspired by gospel music too, you know. And I feel like that call and response that you feel when the choir and the preacher is really going at it in church, very much so that, you know, and that's definitely wrapped up in my sound and my performance and my music.
Can you remember, you know, you talked about all these amazing influences, these guides, you know, they use the music in this way to move energy, move people, channel, you know, and that became your intention. Now you're capable of that. Do you remember the first time in your childhood when you heard somebody giving that energy and you felt connected to it?
Yeah, Lil' Kim. Hardcore, one of the best albums of all time. And I just remember, like, you know, I used to be scared of it. Now I throw lips to the shit, handle it like a real beat. Like, I don't know. I was too young listening to that music.
No, you weren't,
know,
clearly, because it brought us here.
Yeah,
Amen.
Queen bitch. That affirmation, that whole song is an affirmation. I just think feeling that, especially as a queer kid, like that power behind just tapping in and leaning into your feminine power in that way, and not giving a fuck about what nobody thinks, and not centering the male gaze and the white gaze, patriarch gaze, all the things. I just think that Lil' Kim, for me, I was obsessed with her as a kid, and I think that was the first. And then Miss Tony, keep going back to club music, like Miss Tony, I didn't even know, you know, was queer and gay until I got older, but Miss Tony definitely is like anointed and somebody that really was speaking scripture in their music. I'm stuck in an alley with no place to go. You know, like, yes, clap for Miss Tony, come on. Shout out to the big girl, you know, like all these different, go listen to the Masters of Ceremonies by Miss Tony on Spotify. Like, classic, iconic album. And I think, and house music, duh. House music, shout out to house music, you know. And all the great DJs of Baltimore, DJ Technics, DJ Scotty B, DJ Rod Lee, and, you know, the list goes on. These amazing, like, electronic, like, sound architects of the 90s, and even in Detroit, Chicago, you know, Moody Man, I love Jeff Mills, you know, all these fantastic, you know, electronic music artists of the late 80s and 90s really, I think, heavily influenced me, because house music was, you know, Baltimore Club was big here, but house music was huge here as well, so.
It's dope to hear you just articulate the recipe, like, you know, and then to have felt it, you know. I kept seeing the map of Maryland while you were up here, and there's something uncanny about it because of how much of the land is sort of intervened upon by water in this like fractal way, and it feels unique in that way in terms of just the amount of fugitive blackness that's here and has always been here. So can you talk about that, like? You know, I was even thinking of when you were talking about how the sun rises over Baltimore. You know, I was thinking about Benjamin Banneker being around here, looking at the stars. So talk about the study, the deep roots here that are producing you in this expression.
Yeah, I think that Baltimoreans, when I was beginning this project, I have friends also like Lawrence Burney. Is Lawrence in the building? Shout out to Lawrence. He does a lot of work. He does a lot of thinking about like the crabbing industry and the crabbing culture in Baltimore. And when I started thinking about this project, I mean, it didn't really dawn on me until recently. Like, oh wait, we are aquatic creatures. It's like Baltimoreans, and we are like, like you said, we are surrounded by water. The Atlantic Ocean is right there. We literally eat nothing but crabs and fish. And so, I was just thinking of all these ways how we are so close and connected to the water. And I think that people here even don't really consider that and think about that. And so, also, like, this is a random thought, my ADHD kicking in. But the Chesapeake Bay is so important to the world. Shout out to the Chesapeake Bay.
That's not ADHD at all. That's
and I don't know, it's just so important. Like when I was doing my research, like it affects so much, like from, the fish economy, crab economy, whatever, the food economy in that way, but also like, whales come here. I think during the winter to like breed, they come to the Chesapeake Bay for whatever reason, to breed or to like rest or something, and they're becoming like endangered because of all like the bullshit that's been happening to the Chesapeake Bay, and then all this like plant life and aquatic life is just so heavily affected or like in such need of what is going on in the Chesapeake Bay, and it affects so much of just like the Northeast weather and the pollution and et cetera in the Northeast. So I don't know, Maryland, even though it's like, it's a medium-sized state, but it's a very important, it's positioned in a very important place, And then I think about slavery, and I think about how, the Mason-Dixon line literally cuts Maryland, and how so much of that dichotomy affects just like Blackness and Black life here over the centuries. And just thinking about just like how, the Eastern Shore of Maryland was home to a lot of plantations, right? But like in Baltimore was one of the cities that had like the most free blacks in the country, and just thinking about that economy Maryland is a very interesting state, and it has a very diverse and robust ecology. Western Maryland is so different from Eastern Maryland, Southern Maryland, et cetera. I don't know, it's just a very interesting, it's in a very interesting location. I don't know if that means.
It did. I have a question about just the feeling of being in a museum with this. And you transformed it in a very explicit, almost it was just a fly, easeful way. Mm-hmm. And before that happened, or as that was happening, I was just thinking of all the other places, rooms, houses, wherever. I was like, we need to be in a stadium in some way. Like, I was like,
please.
You know what I mean? But
a dream.
Where do you imagine sharing this as it goes forward?
I didn't really think about that. I'm really attracted to just like things being ephemeral and things being just like, things just happen at once and that's it. Especially in a sound where, in a society where you can capture so much and hoard it and keep it and not really give a fuck about it. But I didn't think about this. Tracy was like, I need this on vinyl. But I would be down to perform it again.
Well, again, the zero time, at the next time, it'll be, in my mind, a few nights ago, my wife and I listened to Transfiguration on vinyl. And you should definitely record this and put it out on vinyl. Because, I mean, just that experience of, we're like 45 years later sitting in our living room being pulled into the medicine that she was sharing. And then she speaks. She says something, she talks about the songs in the middle of it. And whereas I would have had this sort of feeling of the preciousness of that moment and this maybe sacrosanctness of that moment because of how sacred it was, I was just so grateful that they recorded it. and then I was so I don't know, it's such an interesting thing. I didn't even think about that. What would it mean to capture this, record it? Is that, what's the question? What are the questions there?
I would love to like perform this again with like a 50-piece band. I love like not on no cult shit, but I love the idea of just having
on some cult shit.
People just
Let's
follow
go.
me around America, performing this thing over and over again. Like having 50 people in my tribe, and we just performing this thing
Also,
for like 5 years.
The Atmosphere is the best name ever for a cult.
Oh yeah, I when I was singing it on stage, I was like, this is a good band name.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You all are the Atmosphere. Abdu and the Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to leave time for questions? I didn't get that.
We can do one question. We have
No,
5
I mean, I
minutes.
didn't. I just didn't know that was a part of my responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could just ask another question, but I just didn't. Everybody was looking real.
Shout out to Terrence Nance, y'all. Incredible artist. Random acts of flyness, all the things that you've done is incredible.
Thank you. I mean, I'm so fed by this, and I'm so inspired. And I guess my last question is how you're thinking about the future. And I would say the distant future, in the next bodies that we're all in, and how you feel like what you're putting down, what it seeds for the future.
I'd be so stuck between being an optimist and an Afro-pessimist. Because the Afro-pessimist in me be like, fuck the shit, I don't give a fuck about nothing. Like, I don't even want to think about that, the future. But the optimist in me about, the children, the youth.
And we were once youth.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about that a lot, that we were once youth, and, our parents, our elders looked us in the eye and we're like, you know what they could be doing? On stage doing this.
Yeah. Wait, say the question again. Why y'all keep laughing at me? This is who I am. No.
Okay, outside of like thinking about the feeling, imagining about the future, the distant future.
Okay.
UFOs.
Okay. Yeah, the distant future. Man, I'm just trying to survive, man. I'm just trying to live. And I just hope that the ancestors and, the Orishas and the gods allow me to continue to do my thing, continue us to do our thing. And I hope more black people especially feel like they don't need permission to do their thing and not give a fuck about the white gays. Like, I really am on that shit with Toni Morrison. Shout out to her. Like, I think the work she's done and the stand she stand on is so powerful about not centering that gaze. And I think people don't realize how big that is, for us as black people to do that type of work. And I want to see more. I don't know. I'm thinking about just the work I want to see. I want to see more experimental shit. I want to see more wild stuff. I want to see more fantasy. I want to see more atmosphere. I want to see more random acts of flyness. I want to see artists who are like, as some Rob would say, leaning into the dark tradition. Like, I want to see more of that, and us just creating that world. I'm thinking about the Black Arts Movement, which I think is one of the most like beautiful times of Black art in America. I'm thinking about Mary Baraka and so many other people that really ate that period up. I want to see that come back. Like, what the fuck? You know, just doing weird stuff, screaming, saying, "Fuck you," you know, the last poets, like all that type of stuff. I want that to return. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we can take one question. We can't see it, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh. Where's the person?
Oh, there you go. Whoa, okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hey.
I wanted to know what you were playing. It kind of looks like a camcorder.
Oh. So that's a synth. I'm gonna go get it. And so, you know, as I'm tapping into playing, you know, experimenting with instruments, I wanted to find synths that are, you know, tactile rooted, synths that center the breath and the voice and the mouth, and this was perfect. So it is triggered by mouth movements and breath. So, you know, yeah, and it's made by Soma Laboratory. I think they are they make all these. Oh, sorry, they make all these unique synths, and I think they're based in Germany. And it's really dope and cool. And I was like, it's perfect. It's called The Pipe, which I don't know about that name. I kept saying it during rehearsal. I'm like, I got to get my pipe, and I was like, I don't know if that's a good name, but it's really dope. And I want to find more things like this, and thinking about playing instruments that are triggered by touch. Not in a traditional way like we see with string instruments or whatever, but more in like electronic, experimental type of way, because I'm very much so tapped into like haptic, sonics. Yeah.
Have you played with making your own instruments?
Yes.
Tactile? Okay.
Yeah. When I was playing around with this sheet of steel, or steel sheet, whatever the term is, I was like, oh, I want to make this into an instrument. And I've seen people take steel sheet and put strings on it and make it like this weird string instrument that you can trigger with a bow and do all weird types of stuff with. So I want to tap more into that type of thing too. But yeah. Okay. Thank y'all so much. Make some noise for Terrence, y'all. Yeah. Thank y'all.
Make some noise for the atmosphere.
Shout out to the BMA staff, Tracy, Anya, Natasha, Elizabeth, Kevin. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming through. Don't forget to say bye. Thank you, Terrence.